Hello, participants. Welcome to the class for your coding. This is Dr. Aisha Butalia here. Since this is my first lecture, okay, I've recently joined the IT department. So some people are joining yet. But if somebody who has been attended the lectures regularly, or even the others, can you just let me know till what have you learned about the programming and what platform you are using and what is your expectation from the class, and I will try to fulfill your expectations to the best. So can anybody speak up one by one, please? Because it's an online class. Till the time others join, you can just give me your feedback. First of all, are you able to hear me? Can anybody confirm?
Yes, ma'am.
Very good.
Yes, ma'am, you are audible. So
Okay.
basically, we are done with introduction to computing, and now we are doing coding. Means the basic part we have started already, like the boilerplate code we have done, and the basic, like algorithm and pseudocode and coding we are doing right now. We are doing.
Okay. So who was taking your lecture?
Namrata, ma'am.
Namrata ma'am was taking your lecture. Okay. How much has she taught? Hello? हेलो, उन्होंने कितना पढ़ाया है अभी तक? क्या टॉपिक्स पढ़ाए हैं? कैन एनीबडी टेल मी?
मैम उन्होंने कोडिंग का बता दिया कि कैसे कैसे लिखना है, मतलब बेसिक पार्ट उन्होंने बताया प्रीवियस लेक्चर में.
So do you know how to run the code, compile the code?
Yes, ma'am. Like we were doing with Visual Studio Code by writing a proper.
Can you please a little bit louder? I'm not able to get you.
Yes, ma'am. We done some programs. We run some programs there that day on Visual Studio Code.
On Visual Studio. Okay. Are you all comfortable with Visual Studio?
Yes, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
No? So what platform are you using? Hello?
Excuse me, ma'am, the students are not yet in. Hello?
Hello?
Yes, ma'am, the students are not yet in. Students are waiting in waiting room, ma'am.
Okay. Actually, I admitted all.
No, ma'am, means majorly students are there.
Okay,
ma'am.
I did it.
Now.
I clicked the admit all, but वैसे the room is all open. But anyways, I did it again.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay. Do you have a WhatsApp group?
Yes, ma'am, we have.
Teachers are there in that group?
Yes, ma'am, they are there. Official group is there. In that group, teachers are there.
Okay. Can we make a separate group for our batch,
D1 batch.
D1 batch?
Yes, ma'am, I'll do it and I'll share the link on the chat box so everyone can join from there.
Where you will share the chat box link?
Ma'am, here in chat box means Zoom meetings chat box, I'll share the link, join link, so everyone will join.
Good. Please, can you do it right away? So I will also join it.
Yes, ma'am, just I'll
So,
take 1 or 2
because
minutes.
if we will have a WhatsApp group, it will be very easier for me to communicate. And if you have doubts anytime, you can let me know over there.
Yes, ma'am.
So please do it.
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
Now, as you said that you are not comfortable with this Microsoft, right?
No, ma'am, I didn't say anything.
Hello,
Yes, ma'am.
are you audible?
Yes,
Am
ma'am.
I audible? Yes,
Yes,
but
ma'am,
you are
you're
not
audible.
audible. Okay. Have everybody joined or still anybody waiting?
Ma'am, I'll see. Ma'am, I have posted the link in the chat box, so let everyone join the group, WhatsApp group, ma'am.
Okay. This PDF, was it shared to you earlier? Can anybody, till everybody is joining? Was this PPT shared to you by Namrata ma'am?
Yes, sir.
Yes? Hello?
Can you share this PPT, ma'am?
It hasn't been shared to you?
Ma'am, which unit is this?
This one. Can you see on the screen?
Okay, this
Yes,
is
ma'am.
chapter 2.
No, this programming of problem solving. Can you see on the screen?
Yes, ma'am, it is visible on the screen.
Is this PPT shared to you by
No,
ma'am?
ma'am. No, ma'am.
No, ma'am,
previously?
no, ma'am, no.
Okay, what any course material shared to you?
Ma'am, only one PPT was shared. That was means basic, that hardware and all related, that PPT was
Yes,
that was the one.
introduction to computing.
Introduction.
was shared.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I think we shouldn't wait much. We should start. Everything must have joined. You've already waited for 10 minutes.
Yes, ma'am.
Let's start.
Okay. Now, since it is first session from my side, some basics I wanted to know from you, that why we are learning this programming. What is your subject name? Hello? What is the subject name? Yeah, right now.
Program solving.
It is PPS. What is the full form?
Problem program solving.
Problem?
Problems in program solving.
I'm not able to hear. Hello?
Problems in program solving.
Problems in program solving. Very good. Do you have the syllabus, everybody? Hello, do you have the syllabus? See, it is the first session. I need to know and then I can proceed.
No, ma'am,
Do
we
you
don't have
all have the
syllabus.
syllabus?
No,
Otherwise,
ma'am.
I
We
will put
only
it
know
on
that.
the group.
Yes,
Otherwise,
ma'am.
I'll
Please, ma'am.
put it on the group. That's it.
Okay, ma'am. Put it, please.
Okay, you don't have the syllabus?
No, ma'am.
Okay. So programming to problem solving. That means that we are learning this subject to solve the problem. Now, what is the problem? Problem can be anything. To add two numbers, to subtract two numbers, to find a particular location address, that also can be a problem. So whatever problem you face, that can be solved by coding. Nowadays, computers have become so intelligent that we use artificial intelligent algorithms to make the machine like human. So ultimately, we are solving the problems which even human face in case of emotions also. Previously, we were doing hard computing. If you want, you can write down hard computing. Hard computing means whatever programming we are doing, that is hard coded. Hard coded means the answer is fixed for any of the input. What is actually hard computing in simple language? If your input is same, your output would be always same. Are you listening? Just affirm me.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So if
Yes,
the
ma'am.
input is same and output any time when the input is same, the output it always be same, that is hard computing. For example, always if the input is 5 plus 3, the output will be always 5 plus 3 is equal to 8. Never the answer will be 9, 7, 6. Okay. So if the input is same, output will be always the same. That is hard computing. Whereas soft computing is if the input is same, you can have n number of outputs. Okay, there can be n number of solutions. That is soft computing. And even in hard computing, there can be n number of solutions, but it will be precise. Whereas in soft computing, the answer is not precise. It is near to approximate. It's an approximate reasoning algorithm. First of all, what is an algorithm? You can write down. First, I discussed hard computing, soft computing. If you want me to repeat this, already the recording will be available, or you can ask me on the WhatsApp group, which you have already shared on the chat box. I will be add myself and you can even ask questions there. So hard computing, soft computing, and then it's just 1 minute, somebody. नहीं मेरा पोस्ट लंच है मेरा अभी लेक्चर चालू है ऑनलाइन प्लीज yes sorry so hard computing, soft computing we have more than one solutions and that are not exact, that is soft means it is near to the solution, that is approximate solution. So we use approximate reasoning algorithms. So algorithm is a procedure to solve a problem. For example, you want to go to from Loni Carbor, you want to go to city or maybe Swargate. Your procedure would be first you will decide whether you want to book a cab, you want to book an auto, you'll go by bus, you will go by college bus or by city bus. So that's the first step. Once you decide what mode of transport you have to use, then you will decide the route. Okay, what is the shortest route, or whether you want a long cut but it is non-traffic route, all that. So these are the steps you would be fixing to your input to the output. So your input is Loni Carbor, your output is Swargate. Okay, and you are the person who is going to travel. So these are the steps, and the steps to solve a problem. Our problem here is that we want to reach from Loni Carbor to Swargate. That's the problem. Solution is these are the steps you need to identify. Okay, so the steps to solve a problem is called algorithm. Probably you know also that. Now my point is that we are using artificial intelligence. For example, if the problem is, now here going to Swargate, you can have n number of routes. So there you need to have soft computing. Why? Because there is not only one solution, that is hard computing. We have got more than one solutions. Are you getting what I'm saying? Can you affirm?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I'm happy to hear that. So there are n number of solutions. So today our computers are becoming intelligent to analyze that we have n number of solutions, and they suggest us that, okay, this is the route number 1. You can join. It will require, this is the shortest route, but it will require 1.5 hours. Why? Because there's a traffic. The route is through the traffic. Another, it is kilometer wise, 4 kilometers extra, but you will require only 45 minutes. So why? Because the route which is suggested is non-traffic. It's from the interior. So this is how intelligently you get the solutions. But still, there is a lot of scope to solve problems. Real life. If you have ever booked cab by Ola, Ola gives you only one route. It doesn't suggest you 2-3 routes. You get that? So sometimes after your experience, you come to know that Ola didn't suggest you the best route. Best route is not which is kilometer wise less. Best route can be the route which gives you less time. Sometimes a lot of people are very money minded. They can travel for 1.5 hours. They don't want a 45 minutes route, but they want to save their petrol. So that also can be a criteria. So even today, Ola, which is running very good in today's time, it is that also is not supporting this type of soft computing application. So there is n number of scope for computers to solve problems, and in any domain. I will tell you, whether you are a mechanical student, whether you are a computer student, whether you are a CA, everybody requires computer applications today. So the more efficient you make your algorithm, the more you are seller good of your product in the market. The best coder you can become if you can give the person n number of solutions, and you can also, as an intelligent application provider, suggest you should design a recommendation system where you say that this is the best solution for you, sir. But to suggest somebody that this is the best solution for you, sir, first you have to understand what is the person's problem. Sometimes the problem is not to just travel from Loni Carbo to Swargate. The problem is much deeper. You have to understand as a coder now. Previously, you have to just provide a solution. For today's coder, the challenge is that the person should understand the context of the problem. For example, does the user wants a shorter route, or does a user wants a route which requires less time? You understand? So you need to analyze the problem more intelligently in the context of the user. You can write down, this is very, very important. First, you should use soft computing techniques rather than hard computing, because Ola is still using a hard computing technique, providing only one solution. If you want to be the best coder today, you need to provide soft computing solution. And what did I say? Soft computing means you need to provide n number of solutions and then provide a recommendation system that this is the best solution for user as per your requirement. If you want, you can note it down. I'll give you 1 minute for this. Hello, are you all there?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am, you're audible.
Okay. Now I would suggest please write down some notes when I give you gap or I tell you, because the entire 2 hours will complete, but you will not understand what was the topic after your 2 hours analysis. So if you have notes, next time when you join the lecture, just revise the previous notes so that you can connect from the previous lectures. You understand? That is why notes are very, very important. Sometimes we have the recording, but we do not listen to that recording. We forget what happened. So notes can be a quick recap to the connect to the previous lecture. So please, some highlights you should note it down compulsory.
मैम नम्रता मैम ने जो पीपीटी दी थी वो मैंने शेयर कर दी.
Okay, very good. So that, I don't want to repeat the topic she has already covered. Okay, you can stop me anytime that, ma'am, this topic is covered, but some things I want to discuss with you so that progress. See, if you know why you are learning this subject, if you know the full form of the subject, but you don't know the meaning of the subject, the moment you know the meaning and why you are learning this subject, your 50% syllabus is complete. Because as far as coding is concerned, you require 4 years to become a good coder. It can't happen in a one semester or 1 year, because you have got other subjects also. So you're not focusing only on this subject. First and lastly, this is a subject which comes by practice, and that you need to do more. So I know that you have other subjects, so at least you require 3 to 4 years to have an expertise on coding. So it's not a one-day job, right? But if you know the purpose and the proper solution, then you can start coding. What happens? We find an algorithm which, after you code for say 2-3 months, you understand that this algorithm was very outdated. You had a much better solution in the market. Already such algorithms are made for that solution and in a more efficient way, and you wasted your 2 months. So first you need to understand the problem very deeply, and then you go for solutions. Always I recommend to the solution student that there are 3 circles. The inner circle is the why circle, the outer circle is the how, and the most outer circle, the inner circle, second circle is what, and the outer circle is how. You people only focus on how, but as an engineer, you should know that you should focus on why you have picked this solution, why you have picked this algorithm. There can be a number of algorithms available on Google to solve the same problem. Why you have selected this algorithm? You should know this is best, why it is best, on which basis, on which context. Otherwise, even BCom students are learning C language. Do you agree with me or not? Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Today, even 9th standard student is learning in CBSE board in the new pattern. They have IT subject, and even they are learning coding. They know Python in 9th standard itself. Okay. So you have great challenges. So how you're different from a 9th student, how you're different from a BCom student, from a BCA student who still is doing programming. So you have to be different because they are concentrating on the outer circle, that is how and what. 50% on what and majorly on how. I tell you that the innermost circle, which is small, but as an engineer, you should focus on why. Okay, if you become a project manager, you need to identify the algorithm and your juniors will do the coding. So that why is very important to understand from an engineer's point of view. So let's continue from the slide which you can see. First is foremost. What is the program development cycle? You're all focusing on coding. That's fine. You can get all codes on net. Nothing is new. Even the project managers with 20 years of experience, they are copy paste some codes from the internet and just try to modify. So that's not a big deal. But what to copy is a big question. Are you getting it, guys? Hello, are you getting it? Hello? Am I audible?
Yes,
ma'am.
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
Yes.
Okay. So first is understanding the problem. Second is planning the logic. As I said, you need to understand the logic, that you have to go from Loney Carbo to Squargate. What is the logic? Coding the program. Then you need to convert the algorithm to the code in which whatever language you are using, not as necessarily C language. You can use Java. A lot of computer languages are there. Now that is also a challenge, that why you are selecting this only. For example, Visual Studio, you're not liking it. So you have other options. So why other options? Why you're selecting that? That why should be there in your mind always. Today, just start from day one, thinking in everything why you are using, why you are rejecting your mother's menu today, because you have and you should provide a solution also. That mom, today I do not want to eat this, but can we eat this? And you should justify why you are rejecting it also. Okay, you should ask your mom, why do not you have other choice? She will tell you, no, only these vegetables are there in the fridge. Okay, so that is the why you have to understand. What you can do, you can write a small code for your mom itself, that whatever grocery is available in the fridge, what can the permutation combination you can suggest to your mom, what menus can be decided out of the available resources at home. You can write a code on that, because you also get bored eating the same stuff. So instead of she has only 4 options, as a coder you can have 20 options, and you can suggest that, mom, see, my code is, you tell me what options are there in the fridge. So she will tell you, I've got 4 vegetables. Your code will give you 20 permutation and combination. Of course, you need to design the logic, and you will code it, and then you will make her aware that these are the 20 recipes you can name, you can make, mom, from this 4 available resources. And then you can suggest, or you can tell her, mom, please don't repeat for 20 days. You can use 20 recipes differently. So these are the code which is expected in today's world. Okay, so I have given you a very normal topic recipe, but this also requires a machine learning, machine language. So once you code the program, so generally you code the program in a high level language. Okay, so Java is a high level language. C is the only code which is a middle level language, because it has got an interface very well designed for hardware as software. Whereas the high level language, there are English like statements, you only adapt to it for high language, but not much of support from the hardware side. So now once you have decided, you have written the code in high level language using simple English like statements, you need to translate it into the machine language. Why machine language? Because computer understands only 0 and 1. So you need a compiler and an interpreter to do that. Now, since you said that ma'am has already taken some lectures, my question is, what is the difference between compiler and interpreter? Please go ahead. Hello?
And compiler, basically the instructions we provide to the computer, they compile it, like make it in a program, and interpreter is something that reads the program and understand what user wants to say or what user wants to perform.
Anyone else? Do you want the answer from the expert?
Of course.
Do you want me to explain it?
Yes, ma'am.
Or it is
Yes, ma'am.
already covered? You are finding it repeating?
No, ma'am. Once you
No,
explain.
ma'am.
Okay, because see, if your concepts are not clear, no, I told you, coding, you can, if I spare even 4 lectures on coding, do you understand how to concept? Then you can easily get all codes from net. That's not a very big deal. So compiler is basically, it's a, you can say it is also a code which is developed by system programmers on the hardware level. It helps you to convert the high level language into the machine language, because coder will write the code in high level language, English like statement, but machine doesn't understand English like, it understands zeros and ones. So it requires certain mediator to do that. So compiler is just a mediator which translates high level language into the machine language. For example, I know French and you know English. We can't communicate, so we need a translator. Similarly, compiler is a form of translator which translates high level language into the machine language. You can write it down. If you want me to repeat, you can always request. I want response from you, otherwise I become blank over here. Hello?
Done, ma'am.
Okay, I'll just switch off the video because video on करने से internet थोड़ा slow हो जाता है. So I'll just switch off the video. Now see, interpreter is also a translator, same functioning like compiler. But then what is the difference? compiler takes the entire code. Suppose you have written a 20 lines code. So it will take all the instructions and compile it and tell you at the end there were 5-6 errors on the line numbers. Correct. Whereas suppose there is an error on the second line. Obviously, since there is an error on the second line, rest, if the second line is using some variables and if there is an error in the variable itself, wherever the variables are used in the 20 line code, it will generate the error. So if you solve the error at line number 2, maybe all errors will be rectified. So compiler may give you 25 errors in a 20 line code only because your error at 20 line number 2 was there. Because at line number 2, the error was interrelated in the other statements ahead. But what interpreter will do? Interpreter, it compiles or it translates line by line. So it will give you the error at line number 2. Unless and until you solve the error at line number 2, it will not go to line number 3. So immediately you solve the error at line number 2, and if there is no error related ahead, it will not give you any error. So the gist is that compiler translates the entire code at one go, and interpreter, it goes line by line. Do you get that? So obviously there are advantages and disadvantage of both of them. So you can write down that you need to do the homework next time. You tell me what should be the advantages and disadvantages. In fact, you can write it on WhatsApp also. Okay? See, you should not wait the other person to do that homework. The more you do the homework, you learn it. Because if you want to become the best coder, you have to do the coding. Nobody else will do for you. And as I said, a best coder in the world is who practices. Okay? Next is syntax and logical errors. What is syntax? Hello? What is syntax? Hello? What is syntax?
Letters and
Yes, Abhishek.
Format of writing
Ayush.
and language.
Anushka, yes.
The format of writing and language, like the function statements.
I'm not able to hear you, beta.
Hello. Hello, ma'am.
Huh.
The format of and language that we write.
The format. And what is
Yeah.
logical error?
Errors that compiler gives when we don't use when we don't give instructions properly, then compiler
Exactly, very good. Exactly. For
Errors.
example, C is equal to A plus B. We require a semicolon. If you do not put a
Yeah.
semicolon, that's a syntactical error.
Yes.
Okay. So, and logical errors, which are all greater than, equal to, and all that. So, all the logical operations. So, now object and executable code. Object is, it converts it into the machine language code. So first we execute the file and then we run the code. So first .c will be converted into .obj. Obj is a file which is converted by the compiler, right? So you can write down, first you compile, suppose there is a .c file, you have written a code saved as .c, then you compile it, it gets converted into .obj. Then you run the program, so then it is converted into .exe, executable code. What is the importance? Why this has been highlighted here? Can anybody tell?
So that our when we write some program, we will directly there by using .exe. So we use it.
Yes. Now see, suppose why we are learning all that, because we will be working in a company, or maybe we will be having our own company. So we will make a product, and the product we need to sell it. Maybe the company will sell it or you will sell it if you are an individual software programmer. So when you sell a product, if you give the OBJ file to a person, or you can give the executable file to a person, or you can give the code. If you give the code and the person knows coding, that person can change the code. So in case if that person wants to update the software, it can do it. But if you give the exe, that person will always be dependent on you. So you can always charge if there is any editing in the code later. You understand? So exe doesn't disclose your code. And generally people give exe because everybody wants to make money every year. So if there is a maintenance going on with that exe to the person we have sold to, that person will ask me. For example, if you have created a website is static, it can be dynamic. If a person wants to add some pages or it wants to create it a dynamic, if you give the entire authority to that person, the person will edit on its own. They will never contact you for that. But if you have done certain coding that they will always be dependent on you, you can charge per page of the website to them. Are you getting that? So this is the importance of why we make an exe.
So basically,
It's
ma'am,
just
dot
test-
.obj is an open source, act as open source.
OBJ is the machine code. It's just a code after compilation. But unless and until you run it, it won't get executed. So you can have a OBJ file, and whenever you will run it, then the exe file. So you can share the exe file to the users. But what happens if suppose you share the exe file that you can't change it? If you change the code, then you need to recompile it and then another OBJ will get replaced. You understand?
Yes, sir.
Then test the program. So then why you need the testing? Testing can be on the coder side, testing can be on the client side. So whenever you are testing on the coder side, you just remember that your all errors are sorted. When the testing is done on the client side, client will check that whether that client is getting the expected output that company was expecting the way it should have been. Okay, because sometimes you're too busy in coding that you do not understand that your logic actually went wrong. What inputs they gave and what output they were expecting was not to their match. And then publishing. Publishing means you need to document your program, how to use your exe, what should be the input. It should be actually, it's a user friendly documentation, how to use your program. That's it. Sometimes you work on a long-term project and that project is of 4 years. You have written a code, you leave the company, somebody else joins. So if you have all the documentation, whatever code you have written, what it means, what the module says, then the other person takes it very easy to forward. Even you join a company and you have been given a certain project which the other person was handling and that person is not there in the department now. So if there is a publishing done, you can go through those documents and understand how that person has executed till now. And then you can go it further. Maintaining the program is, as I said, that it goes for maintenance every year or maybe yearly, maybe bi-monthly or maybe weekly. That person wants some editing in the code. So if the more the dependency, the more the maintenance charges you can charge from the client. Okay, some people have no maintenance, just you hand over the product and then you have no authority. Sometimes they have yearly maintenance, sometimes they have bi-monthly maintenance, sometimes they have 5 years maintenance. It's all up to you what contract you say. That's all money business. So this publishing is for the employees who leave and join. Maintenance is the money business which the project managers and the higher authority do with the clients. Just you should know, you should be aware of this, why actually you need to write comments also. Sometimes students ignore commenting, but that commenting is very important in publishing. Because the person who joins your code, you need to explain it every line. Do you have that time? No. But if you have comments, sometimes what happens, the long-term projects of 4 years, you only don't remember what code you had written 3 years back. You get confused. But if you have comments that this module tells what the module is doing in the form of comment, it becomes easier for you only in a long-term project later. Okay. Should we go ahead?
Sure,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Okay. So first you understand the problem, then the logic, that is the algorithm. You can write here, algorithm. Sometimes students just start writing the code. They do not know the importance of algorithm. Why? Because your program is very simple. But when your programs are very complicated, it is highly recommended that don't go ahead without writing the algorithm. You all know what is algorithm, or you want me to repeat? You all know algorithm, or you want me to repeat?
I think we know, ma'am.
You want me to repeat?
Yes, ma'am, बोल दे.
Ma'am, just explain it in short.
Okay, algorithm is steps to solve a problem. Short and sweet. Algorithm is steps to solve a problem. Don't jump to writing a code. Write the algorithm, that means write the steps in English like language in your notebook. Then understand each step, how it has to be converted in the language you are using. For example, here we are using the C language. Okay. Then rest all we have discussed. So if you have any doubt, you can let me know. So this is all theoretical. These all points actually I discussed in detail, so I can skip that. Flowchart. What is flowchart or pseudocode?
Ma'am, flowchart gives us the idea how the program will go, means which step will follow after one.
Have you drawn flowchart earlier?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
Ma'am, it is
Yes,
a
ma'am.
path, ma'am. We have drawn.
Okay, so one line answer is it's a diagrammatical representation of an algorithm. It's a diagrammatical representation of an algorithm. For example, visual representation. जो चीज मैं अगर मैं यहाँ पे कुछ आपको डिस्प्ले नहीं करती तो आपको इतना इंटरेस्टिंग नहीं लगता. अगर सिर्फ मैं ऑडियो ही बोलती रहती तो इट वाजंट. तो ऑलवेज बी कंसीव मच बेटर बाय विजुअलाइजेशन. So whatever code you are writing, if you just visualize in a form of diagram, okay, it becomes very easier to the eyes to understand it. Do you agree or not?
Yes, ma'am.
But what happens, you people are not having the importance of a flow chart क्योंकि आपका प्रोग्राम बहुत सिंपल है. तो इसलिए आपको लगता है कि आप क्या करते हो, फॉर्मेलिटी के लिए, सिर्फ मार्क्स के लिए आप कोड लिखते हो, बाद में एल्गोरिथम लिखते हो, बाद में फ्लो चार्ट लिखते हो. But actually, if your code is of 1,000 lines, you may go into disaster if you just start writing the code and after writing the 1,000th line, you come to know that, oh no, you have written a wrong code. Your code is haphazard. First, module 2 should have been module 1. Then it should have been module 2, which I have designed it as module reverse. Why? Because of this, my entire code and the time has become double. So that is why if your project is simple, then students try to do reverse engineering, that first write the code, then write the algorithm. But if the project is complex, always first write the problem statement. Write the problem statement in detail. What is the input? What is the output? Then draw the flow chart. Then write the algorithm. Algorithm means English-like statement. And then write the pseudocode. Pseudocode is you write the algorithm a little bit more in a syntactical way of the language you are using. For example, if you are using C language, convert the algorithm little bit in the form of C language. If you are using Java, write this algorithm a little bit in the form of Java. Do you get that? Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so my next question is, what is the difference between pseudocode and the code?
Ma'am, can you repeat the question?
What is the difference between pseudocode and the code?
So, ma'am, we cannot run the program using pseudocode. Basically, pseudocode is to make you understand, like what means basic an idea what you're going to do in the program. And code is, of course, we can run that.
Can anybody else repeat? What is the question? I'm just writing the question on the screen. Can you see that?
Yeah.
What is the difference between pseudocode and code? Can anybody else only, is it one person in the class or two people or three people? What are others? Please, I request everybody to participate. Otherwise, I will feel that a lot of people have just joined for attendance. And then, see, there's no objection. You can join for attendance. But coding is something, I mean, you really need to connect. And if you really want certain inputs from us, help from us, so that connection should be there between faculty and the student. Okay, so please, I'll repeat, what is the difference between pseudocode and code? No one?
यही बोल दे.
Pseudocode is a informal language that is used to describe the code.
Algorithm.
That is used to describe the algorithm.
No. It's partially right, actually, but I was expecting something more accurate.
Ma'am, code
But
is
I'm glad at least you shared, because unless and until you talk, how can I correct you, no? That you are right or wrong? And that's what we are paid for. We have to tell you that you are right or you're wrong, right? We can't just go ahead, okay, whatever you know is right only. So, anybody else? No?
Pseudocode is the steps to solving the problems.
Then what is the algorithm? It is also a step to solve a problem. And code is also, we are actually solving the problem only. Okay, I'll just simplify it more. What is the difference between, first is pseudocode and code, but before that you tell me difference between algorithm and pseudocode. Interesting. Because if your fundamentals are not clear, what is the sense of coding if you do not know what is the gist of the subject? So first tell me this, what is the difference between algorithm and pseudocode? And then tell me what is the difference between pseudocode and code. Yes? No one?
Pseudocode
try.
is
Even if
Pseudocode
you are
is
wrong.
easy to solve problem than algorithm.
Yes. I'm not able to hear you, please.
Pseudocode is easy to solve the problem than algorithm.
Pseudocode is easy to
Solve the problem.
And
Now pseudocode is like more crypted compared to an algorithm, and pseudocode is almost like closer to C program code, like almost same. And algorithm is just an instructions like in a written format of what we are going to do in coding.
exactly, you're right. So algorithm is steps to solve a problem in English like language, right? Whereas pseudocode is you are writing the algorithm in a more syntactical way of the language which you are using. For example, if C, pseudocode would be different for the same algorithm. If you are using Java, pseudocode will be different for the same algorithm. You get that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, now pseudocode and code. Code, you cannot have error. It should be syntactically accurate if you want to compile it. Whereas pseudocode, you can have some syntactical errors because you just have to write it on page. Is that clear? Like you draw the flow chart, like you draw the algorithm. You get that? Now you understood the difference?
Yes, ma'am. Got it.
Okay, so just please read these sentences. Is the file visible to you?
Yeah, it is visible.
Okay. Should we go ahead?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, now it's too much of theory, so I'll stop the theory now. We have one more lecture. Should we continue with the coding part, or you want me to stop for today?
No, let's do coding.
We'll go to coding.
Yeah.
Okay. Now I would like to know what platforms are you using?
I guess everyone has installed VS Code.
But somebody said that you're not comfortable.
Ma'am, basically it's the easiest one, so I don't think any
Yeah,
problem.
we are comfortable with VS Code, I guess.
Okay. But in yesterday's meeting, it was told that we should all follow the same platforms. So code board ID was decided. Now, what I suggest that why not to incorporate 2-3 IDs and only stick to one? What is your opinion in that case?
Ma'am, we should go on with VS Code, ma'am. It's way easier, ma'am.
Many of you agree with this?
Ma'am, only the installation part of that MinGW, the C compiler. It's
Yeah,
a
the
bit
compiler
hard.
part.
Now see, actually we had a meeting and it has been decided code board, but I'm not very hard and fast rule. I always make it flexible for students. My suggestion is that whenever you go to an interview, okay, in computers or IT, they are focusing more on open source. You know what is open source?
Yeah, ma'am.
Open
Yeah.
source, you know, you are not dependent on the machine. You can without downloading and without having the license copy, without paying for the software, okay, you can run the program directly from the site. That is called open source. For that, we need not download it, waste our memory. First issue, that is the benefit. Secondly, it's not licensed. Open source is free of cost, so that licensing objection doesn't come. Secondly, you can run that application as a pervasive and ubiquitous application, runtime anywhere, anytime. You understand? And
Ma'am,
that
but
is why.
VS Code is also basically free. So, ma'am, it's a way easier like code.
But you need to download it, no?
Yes, ma'am, means it's not a big deal, I guess.
No. It's not about deal, beta. It's about that why interviewers focus on open source. Because when
Okay,
you
ma'am. Okay,
download, you are requiring certain memory. If you change the machine, you again need to download. Do you
So,
think
ma'am,
this is a best strategy to be used for programming? We are just discussing. We have not decided anything. And it's an open forum. We are discussing it positively. You're
yes,
open to
ma'am.
tell your suggestions, but ultimately, just think that I'm an interviewer and I'm taking your interview. You need to justify me if you want to get the job. So I'm asking you. You understand, beta, what we are trying to highlight?
Yes, ma'am, but we can means starting में हम लोग practice इसमें कर सकते हैं VS Code में क्योंकि complicated नहीं होगा and then we can means go
अच्छा,
forward in code board.
एक बात पूछूं, अगर मैं इंटरव्यूअर हूं तो मैं आपको ये पूछूंगी, क्या आपने कोड बोर्ड यूज किया है? जो आप बोल रहे हो कि विजुअल स्टूडियो इजी है और कोड बहुत डिफिकल्ट है?
यस मैम, काइंड ऑफ
ने यूज किया है?
उतना नहीं बट थोड़ा किया है, लाइक VS कोड किया तो बहुत इजी लगा वो हमें।
It's
अच्छा, आपने
fine now.
use
You
किया?
can do your practice with Visual Studio Code. Otherwise, we'll do with website. It is
No,
easier.
you are not understanding my question. Suppose if you have two routes to go to Swargate, unless and until you use both the routes, can you answer anybody which one is better? Hello? Hello?
यस मैम।
I have got two routes to go to Swargate.
यस मैम।
Unless and until I use both the routes, मतलब एक बार एक टाइम उससे जाऊंगी, एक बार इससे जाऊंगी, जब तक दोनों रूट्स मैं पर्सनली यूज नहीं किया, क्या मैं किसी को गाइड कर सकती हूँ कि कौन सा बेटर है और कौन सा नहीं?
No,
नो
ma'am.
मैम, सो
है ना? So
Yes, ma'am.
unless and until you use, you can't say which is better, right?
yes मैम,
And
yes मैम।
secondly, as an interviewer, I just said that open source would be recommended. You will be hired immediately if you have used an open source and other person who has used a non-open source. Do you agree?
Yes मैम, I
Yes.
agree
So do
मैम।
you want to do you want to get the job or not?
Of course we want to
Yes.
get the
So
job.
what I'm saying, if you are comfortable using Visual Studio, you use that. But I'm telling you, after that, please use the code board also, so that you are now an expert. You can say that you know both of them and you can guide somebody, even the interviewer, that sir, this is better, this is better. And you can't argue that I don't know how to compile it on an open source. Do you get that? What I'm trying to suggest?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes मैम, yes
If
मैम।
still you do not agree with what I'm saying, I will agree to what
No
you say.
मैम, I agree मैम।
Because I'm just here to guide you the best. Maybe you do not know certain things. That is why I'm here. So we will stick to that. First, you have already used the Visual Studio, right? So you practice on that. But I will share you code board so that you know both. I'm not telling you don't use Visual Studio. That ma'am has already told you. Fine. Hello. Fine.
Yes, ma'am. It's fine. Let's
Yes
go
मैम,
with.
yes मैम।
Okay. So today your homework will be that you use the code board. What you have to do, you have to just register. If you can see the website, just write codeboard.io.
Yes मैम, we'll do it मैम।
Okay, you have to sign up here. After you sign in, you will get an ID. वहां तक आपको करके आना है नेक्स्ट टाइम, बस इससे ज्यादा कुछ नहीं, और हम डायरेक्टली कोडिंग शुरू करेंगे.
Yes मैम, yes मैम।
Okay, now,
Okay, ma'am.
so have you written that? And if you want that, you want a video of how to register on codeboard, उतना लगेगा? I don't think.
No मैम, we all can do it मैम।
Otherwise you can go to YouTube channel. अगर आप मुझे आज बोलते हो कि मैम नहीं हो रहा है तो मुझे व्हाट्सएप पे डालो, मैं आपको खुद इसका वीडियो बना के रात तक भेज दूंगी. ठीक है? And I am
Okay,
always available on WhatsApp. Now, next point is, next time now we will directly start with coding, not wasting even a single time. अभी मुझे बताओ, आपने कोडिंग में क्या क्या किया है अभी तक? Have you written this difference between pseudocode and code
Yes.
in your
Yes.
notes? Please do it, because this you will not understand it very easily from the book and all, too much lengthy. Please write it. I'll give you 2-3 minutes. जो भी अभी तक पढ़ाया है आप प्लीज लिखो और मुझे बताओ. We will rejoin. I'm there only here. Or if you have any doubts, ask. Next time be prepared. Huh? We will be only doing coding. Today was my first lecture. I wanted to know a lot of stuff from you and I wanted to clear certain basics. From tomorrow, only coding. Kabhi beech beech mein kuch theory bata nahi rahi, to 5-10 minutes I will do that in between of the coding only. Because theory lectures are, I understand, it's very, very boring. So let's start with coding next time. Now tell me what programs you have done already.
Adding numbers, calling
Ma'am,
inputs
basic-
from users,
basic
all we have
programs
done.
like-
Yeah, basic.
Okay. So you know very easily how to compile and run the program.
Yeah.
Okay.
Definitely.
Do you know how to use
Ma'am, we
static
use a
variables?
use a compiler.
Huh?
Ma'am, we use a compiler, so ma'am means open source का नहीं है idea. Close मतलब
वो
open
हम
source
कोड
में
बोर्ड
नहीं
में
है.
देखेंगे, उसका कोई
हाँ,
प्रॉब्लम
मैम.
नहीं. ठीक है, वो बिल्कुल देखेंगे क्योंकि वो मेजर पार्ट है और वो होगा ही होगा. वो तो हर बार कंपाइल तो मैं करूंगी आपके सामने, तो उसका कोई टेंशन नहीं है. ठीक है, आई नीड टू नो, क्योंकि नेक्स्ट टाइम फिर मैं उसी से स्टार्ट करूंगी ना, विदाउट वेस्टिंग टाइम. सो एंड ओके, यू नो हाउ टू यूज स्टैटिक वेरिएबल्स and dynamic variables? Yes.
No, ma'am.
अच्छा, अगर सपोज मैंने कहा int a is equal to 2, int b is equal to 3, c is equal to a plus b, print out printf c, what will be the answer?
3, 4, 5 means what is the given there? Because that is a static
Okay.
variable.
So this 2 and 3, this is static variable because I have fixed that value of a and b in the code, right? But suppose I want to get the value of a and b from the user. Have you done that?
Yes, ma'am. By using
What?
a scanf function.
So that has been taught to you.
Yeah.
So see, that is what you know things, but you do not know that this is called dynamic way of programming. Okay, dynamic means that if you compile the code, you can still change the value of a and b at the time of runtime, right? But static code means what? If you change the value of a and b internally in the code, you need to recompile it. Do you agree with me?
Yes, ma'am.
For example, if you have used scanf for taking the values of a and b, do you need, suppose first time the user entered a is 2, b is 3. Next time the user wants to enter 4 and 4. Do you need to recompile the program again? No. That means you just need to run the program again. If you do not need to recompile the program again and you can have different inputs, that is known as dynamic programming. That means you have used dynamic variables. Do you get that?
Yes.
And why dynamic program is better than static? Because you give the flexibility to the user to change the program without being given the entire code. Because if you only give the exe to the client, that person can't go and change the code, right?
Yeah.
So the more you do dynamic programming, the more efficient your code would be to provide it as an exe to the client. Because see, you can earn money by making your client dependent कि बार बार वो हमें request करेंगे, हम उन्हें बार बार code change करके exe देंगे. But if you are going to make it hell for them for little things, then they will opt on another company to buy the product. Clear? So if you want to be the good coder, what you should do, whether you should do static programming or whether you should do dynamic programming?
Dynamic.
Dynamic. So till today, you were just learning coding, but you do not know how to become the best coder. So then what is the use? Correct? So first you should know these concepts. Okay, so you know scanf. Okay, you know loops.
If else statements?
Loops. Loops are the statements which you want repeated to be executed. So for loops, you can use while loop,
Not
for
yet.
loop,
Yeah. This is not
and
been talked
do
yet.
while. It's not covered.
No,
Okay.
no, no.
So next topic I will declare from now only loops, and it is very important topic in programming. So next topic would be only on loops. 3 types of loops we will be discussing. Okay. Conditions, conditional statements.
Oh yeah, we've done one program like if
What? What is conditional statements?
if else statement using
If,
else,
then if else,
if else difference.
nested if.
Yeah.
Nested if. Switch case. Have you done all this?
The ma'am
No.
didn't.
No, ma'am, we haven't done
No,
that.
ma'am.
Okay. So what we will do first, this is the basic. So in next lecture, we will do this. And after that, we will do loops. Is that clear?
Okay, ma'am.
Okay. So be prepared. And we will stop here and directly we will start with the if in the next class.
Ma'am, can you repeat pseudocode and code difference?
Come again, pseudocode and code. I'm not able to hear you, beta. Can you be a little bit loud?
pseudocode और कोड के बीच में का डिफरेंस दोबारा बताइए प्लीज.
Okay. You understood the difference between algorithm and pseudocode? Algorithm is English-like statements जो आपको लिखने हैं steps. Pseudocode है जो algorithm को ही आप convert करोगे, but in a more syntactical way. For example, अगर आप लिखते हो कि you want to run this particular statement in a loop, तो आप algorithm में क्या लिखोगे? Run this statement 5 times. ये आप English लिखोगे. But pseudocode में आप क्या लिखोगे? C language में लिखोगे. है ना? While I is equal to 0 and so I is less than 5. मतलब 5 times आप repeat करोगे. तो you need to pseudocode, you have to write that English-like statement in a syntactical way of the language you are using. तो अगर C language में लिखोगे तो pseudocode का syntax C language में आएगा while loop का. अगर आप Java में लिखोगे तो pseudocode में while loop का जो Java में use करते syntax वो आ जाएगा. समझ में आपको?
Yes, ma'am.
लेकिन सूडो कोड और कोड में क्या होगा? कोड भी वही होगा, सिंटैक्स लिखना पड़ेगा, बट कोड में एरर होने, यू कांट हैव एरर्स बिकॉज अल्टीमेटली कोड विल बी द परफेक्ट सूडो कोड. सूडो कोड वुड बी जस्ट रफ सिंटैक्स व्हिच यू कैन पुट इट ऑन द पेपर. सो इफ ऑन पेपर अगर आपने कोई सेमीकोलन मिस कर दिया या कोई स्पेलिंग मिस्टेक कर दी तो पेपर पे तो कोई रन टाइम एरर आएगी नहीं आपको. तो इट इज जस्ट code written on a paper, but it is a rough code, you can say that. But
Okay,
actual code is a code which is syntactically correct. कई बार क्या होता है कि सूडो कोड हमें C में मिलता है नेट पे, and you can convert the pseudo code in C in the pure code in Java. सपोज आपके प्रोजेक्ट में फाइनल ईयर में आपको मैम ने बोला है कि ये प्रॉब्लम स्टेटमेंट को आपको जावा में एग्जीक्यूट करना है. सो यू विल गेट द सूडो कोड ऑन द नेट इन सी लैंग्वेज. यू नीड टू कन्वर्ट दैट सूडो कोड इनटू द कोड ऑफ जावा लैंग्वेज. सो दैट आल्सो मेक्स अ डिफरेंस बिटवीन सूडो कोड एंड कोड. सो कोड इज समथिंग व्हिच इज अ रफ कोड इन एनी लैंग्वेज, ओके, एंड सूडो कोड एंड कोड इज द syntactically perfect runnable code, runnable pseudo code.
Okay, ma'am.
ठीक है. बाकी आप उसका exactly definition you will get it on Google. That's not a problem. So I am not here to give you definitions that you can check it on Google. But जो explanation part है, if you understand, then you can write it in your own words. You should not copy paste or you should not mug up and all that. Because basically whenever you write the paper, You should write definitions on your own. Nobody is going to cut marks. You need to present the example. So if you understand the definition, you can always quote your own examples. Okay. Anything else? Should we stop here?
Sure, ma'am.
So you know the homework. Code board, you need to register. While taking the lectures, I told you have to identify the advantages and disadvantages of compiler and interpreter. What else homework I gave you?
Code board registration.
Yes, apart from that. Okay, so this is clear.
Yes, ma'am. We can start with.
I think no more homework.
Yeah.
So one more homework I will give you, that you try to just before that study some conditional statements, if else, nested if, switch case, because these two topics are the core of our subject. So if you just go through it before our lecture, your concepts will be more easier to understand. And if you have any doubts, whatever you are facing during your coding, please note it down and ask me in the next coming lecture. Okay. Maybe it's a waste of time for others. If it's a common problem everybody's facing, I'll solve it online. Otherwise, I'll solve it personally, one-on-one, after the lecture ends. Okay. So thank you very much for your patience listening. I'll just repeat my name. This is Dr. Aisha Butalia here. Okay. Just 2-3 days on back, I've joined the department. I've already worked with this institution long back, left it in 2012. Joined couple of institutions. Last institution I was working in Ajinkya Innovation University, DY Patil, and now again back here. So I'm very happy to join with you and share whatever knowledge I could. Okay, I can from so many years of experience. So you also take the benefit. If you have any doubt, try to plan some small project so that it's interesting for you also to code. And at the end, you can have some outcome. For example, you can menu what we discussed for your mom. You can ask your mom what difficulty she faces in her everyday life, and you can convert that into your problem statement and start designing it. I'll help you out. You can have a little bit of project. It's not maybe a part of the curriculum, but you will learn a lot of things. IIT students do what? What is the difference between? They are not special. Their DNA is not special. The same components of their DNA, but the only difference to them is they work on real-time projects and they sit night outs with their friends in the campus. So if you're not sitting in the campus, you have groups. You can sit, or even you can work on your own, no problem. Okay, and you all have me in the WhatsApp groups. You can ask your doubts about your projects. There are certain live projects you will get on share.net. You can work on internships also right away. Okay, so you will get great experience in coding. Because short programs, I don't think that is very much to attain. That's every normal BCom student also can attain that. Okay, so once again, welcome back to this session of your PPS. Okay. So now I'll sign off for the day and we'll meet in the next lecture with the conditional statements. Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am.
The people who have attended, their attendance would be directly be there on the ERP. So I'm not taking it. Do you want me to take it?
No,
No, ma'am, it's fine, ma'am.
Okay, since it's my first lecture, I want to just make it assurance. Okay, thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Have a nice day.
Same to you, ma'am.
Okay.